Good evening, KU. I'm Emma.
And I'm Ari. Welcome back to this week's edition. So we both are rocking our white little long sleeves because KU is the national championship for Division I basketball.
Yes, that is so exciting.
It's so nice to say.
I mean, I coming to KU, I thought it'd be really cool to have a championship while we're here, and here we are.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Being able to experience that, especially because you're freshmen, right?
Yeah,
we're both freshmen, so it's just the icing on top of the cake for freshman year. So.
It's definitely it's one of those things you wish it would happen, and then you're here, and it's so cool. I couldn't have asked for anything better.
Did you watch the game somewhere?
I did. I went with some friends from SUA, and we went and watched it on Mass Street. It was really cool.
Yeah, I was near Mass and watched it, and during the first half, I was getting a little bit nervous
it gave me flashbacks back to the Miami game where we were down so much in that first half. I was like, oh no, please come back.
I was getting nervous, but obviously more towards the second half of the game, we made a huge comeback. So it was really cool, and just following up with the KU Hoops Instagram, it was so cool to see the records we broke. I think I read that there was 18.1 million viewers viewing the game, and it's the most viewed championship game in cable history.
Oh yeah, that's so cool. And we also had the biggest comeback in championship history with a 16-point deficit. That's crazy.
Definitely, I feel well-deserved since we haven't had one since 2008. So definitely a good time to have one.
Yes, we all felt it. The team felt it. Yeah. It was very, very cool.
Yeah.
So speaking of us winning, did you go to the parade?
I did go to the parade yesterday. Did you?
I did. Yeah. It was so cool. My friend and I got there a little late, so we were kind of didn't really see everything, but the whole time we were holding up our phones trying to record it so we could see it, but then also go back and be oh my gosh, it was Christian Brown and DeJuan Harris in the same car when we thought it was two other basketball players instead of them. That was really cool.
Yeah, it was just a really good way to represent what happened.
Yes.
And it's definitely still such a big deal, but definitely a long, tired week we've all had.
Yes.
I have been so exhausted and just trying to balance staying up with homework and stuff, and staying up with school is super challenging during this time because it was such a huge celebration.
We all needed the time to sit back and celebrate, but it was also really hard getting back and making sure we do things. I had a test this week, and I was this isn't the week to have a test.
Yeah, for sure. I feel most professors though have been super understanding with understanding how big and rare of a deal this is. So
of course,
most of my professors have been really lenient with the assignments.
Yeah, same here. And also just the vibes in Lawrence right now are immaculate.
Yeah.
It's nothing earlier this year. When we won games, it was a cool vibe, but this is everyone is. I think this is the most positive I've seen Lawrence. This is, it's so fun. It's so good.
Yeah, I was at the parade for a while, and then I ended up walking back to my residence hall and hit the books. Started my schoolwork for the week.
Same here. I took some video and I quickly edited it all together so I can when I watch back and be okay, this person and this person were at this point, and this person were at that point. And then when I was done, I just called it good.
Oh yes, and so did you end up going to the football game?
I didn't go to their spring preview.
Yeah, I didn't either, but you heard about Christine.
Yeah. So some of my friends that went, and they had texted me, they were yo, Chris Tehan got to play, which I was that's kind of cool, dual athlete, but not really a dual athlete. So he got to throw a pass during their scrimmage that made a touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really, really cool that he got to do that. And he has such a very outgoing, friendly personality. I feel the public eye just loves him so much because he's very good at talking and just doing stuff like that for the community is just cool to see.
For sure. I was also told it was kind of a surprise that he got to show up.
Really?
No one knew beforehand. I'm friends with a few football players, and they were yeah, we kind of knew beforehand, but not really. So that was kind of neat to be a surprise. Here's Tehan. And then that happened, and that's so cool.
Yeah, and he has such a great personality, and he's just really good at talking and being a good figure for our community. I feel
Yes. we love it out here. It's so fun.
Yeah. And in some other news, this is more related to some pop culture. Brooklyn Beckham, who is the son of David Beckham, soccer star, and then his mom, Victoria Beckham, who is a Spice Girl. Yes. He got married to the investor Nelson Peltz, the billionaire, his daughter, Nicola Peltz. So that was pretty much like a star-studded wedding. I heard that's like one of the biggest weddings that's going to happen this year.
Like, that's kind of cool. I heard she wore Versace, which is like, that's fancy.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think they got married in Florida, that's what I've read. But just kind of hearing about that was really cool. And they had some like very honorable guests there. Serena and Venus Williams were there, and I also heard that Victoria Beckham's former bandmates were present too.
So that's kind of neat. Like, it was like a mini like Spice Girls reunion. Yeah, but, not really reunion, but
yeah. And I think that's all we have for this week.
So after the break, we'll be back with news and sports.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back. I'm Renee.
And I'm Grace. This is your Monday Good Evening KU News Update. Presidential elections in France may come down to incumbent Emmanuel Macron and far-right challenger Marine Le Pen. Yesterday's national election decided which two candidates will advance to a final runoff later this month. Voters must cast in ballot box and on election day, as French voters are not allowed to vote in advance.
And in Pakistan, parliamentary leaders voted Prime Minister Imran Khan out of office. Khan is the first Pakistani leader to be removed by a no-confidence motion and has said he would not recognize an opposition government. While protests are expected overnight, Parliament is expected to elect Shehbaz Sharif as the new Prime Minister.
In Ukraine, Russian forces continue to remobilize along the eastern border. Satellite images show an 8-mile-long military convoy advancing to the town of Kharkiv after a Russian missile struck a train station in Kramatorsk on Friday, killing at least 50 people.
European officials said the Russians are feeling self-imposed pressure to achieve some sort of victory by May 9th, the day Russia traditionally celebrates victory over Germany in World War II.
The KU Public Safety Office reported an armed robbery yesterday on West Campus Road. The suspect is a Hispanic male, approximately 25 to 30 years old, with a goatee or scruffed beard. He apparently robbed a victim with a gun and then fled west in a vehicle. Any information can be sent to the Crime Stoppers or the KU Public Safety Office.
Chancellor Girard said he hopes that KU's national championship in basketball will lead to a bump in enrollment next year. The all-time high for enrollment is just over 30,000 students. In the fall of 2008, just after the basketball team won a national championship. This year, the number stood at 27,685 students.
And for more in sports, let's toss it over to Julia and Hannah.
Thanks, Grace. The baseball team swept Illinois State this weekend at Hoagland Ballpark. After a complete game performance on Saturday by senior Cole Larson, the offense came alive behind senior left fielder Tom Lichty, who drove in 5 runs with 2 home runs for a 10-5 victory on Sunday afternoon.
The Jayhawks are now 13-17 for the season and will host Omaha on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. before heading to Waco this weekend to play Baylor. Sophomore Maui Ahuna continues to crush opponent pitching, going 2 for 5 yesterday and is now batting .446 for the season.
The softball team beat Baylor 3-1 yesterday afternoon at Arocha Ballpark, but lost the series to the Bears. KU is now 13-22 overall and 2-7 in the Big 12 Conference. The Jayhawks will host Kansas City tomorrow night at 6 p.m. before heading to Stillwater for a weekend series with Oklahoma State.
The tennis team lost to both Texas and Baylor this weekend on the road. Kansas is now 13-9 overall and 3-5 in the conference. The Jayhawks will host Kansas State on Saturday to close out the regular season before the Big 12 Championship tournament begins on April 22nd in Fort Worth.
Minnesota transfer Alexander Jung turned in the 10th best decathlon performance in KU track and field history this weekend at the Sun Angel Classic in Tempe, Arizona. Jung scored 7,311 points to win the event.
Junior Riley Anderson picked up the other gold medal for the Jayhawks with a clearance of 6 feet 3/4 of an inch in the high jump. Anderson is already the second best high jumper, and this was the 4th best mark in the school history.
That's it for sports. After the break, Braden will be back with the weather forecast, followed by a new round of Jayhawk trivia.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Welcome back. I'm Braden and I'm here to give you your weather. So currently it is pretty warm outside. It's 67 with fair skies and winds are calm. They're only 7 miles an hour from the north. For our headlines this week, tomorrow it's going to be very warm and very windy. Tomorrow night though, we should see a chance for some severe storms. But after Wednesday and the rest of the week, we'll see much quieter conditions and a bit cooler temperatures as well. For tonight, we're going to see a low of 48 degrees. We're going to see some gusty winds at 25 miles per hour from the southeast, but skies will be mostly clear. Tomorrow, we're going to see a wind advisory starting at noon, and that will run until Wednesday at 1 a.m., and we can see wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour and straight line winds of 20 to 30 miles an hour. But it will be quite warm with a high of 80 degrees. Tomorrow night is when we're going to see a chance for some severe storms. So right ahead of the development of the storms is when we're going to see the best chance for those wind gusts. And I'll be talking about the threats with that weather in just a second. So for the area, we're seeing Lawrence, the Kansas City metro area, Topeka, and Ottawa. We're all in the enhanced severe storm risk. So what this means is that we could see a very good chance for some gusty winds, and we're going to see a medium threat for severe hail. And for tornadoes and flash flooding, not too much of a concern, but not completely out of the question. So if we take a look at Tuesday at 7 a.m., we've got a low pressure system moving in from the east. And as we get to Tuesday night, we can see that light green is chances of rain and red is supposed to be severe weather. But as it moves to the east, that will be coming our way. And by Wednesday at 7 a.m., we should see most of these showers exiting our area, and we'll have some cooler temperatures. We'll have a high of 58 that day, and throughout the rest of the week, we'll see some upper 50s and lower 60s. And that's all I have for you for the weather, but after this, stay tuned for the trivia with Faye.
Diversity. What is diversity? It can be an umbrella term for a variety of things, ranging from diversity among different people, places, cultures, and ideas to the way people express themselves and the way they interact with the world. In today's world, people interact with one another and share their thoughts through social media. Let's take Twitter, for example. How are people of different backgrounds, ethnicities, and sexual orientations with different political beliefs, interests, and job titles using this platform differently? Currently, celebrities are interacting with their fans on Twitter by speaking their minds, sharing their beliefs, and supporting social issues. Professional sports figures and organizations in the United States are using Twitter to support social causes and bring attention to current social matters, such as encouraging their fans to vote. Users are voicing their opinions about current issues surrounding racial inequalities, social injustice, and police brutality in the United States. There's diversity in the way people are discussing the upcoming presidential election, especially regarding their opinions of each candidate. Different news outlets are not only highlighting stories in the US, but are talking about important stories from around the world. But many Twitter users don't post about controversial matters or social issues at all. Rather, they use their platform to create memes and post funny content for entertainment. While many topics going around this app involve social issues and political opinions, Twitter creates a space where people can pull together collections of diverse thoughts, comments, opinions, goals, and even a little humor too. So how can we use this platform to express our differences? More importantly, how can we use it to learn from each other's differences today?
Welcome back to Good Evening KU. I'm Fernanda Silva. Today's trivia shouldn't be that hard. We will be testing our participants' knowledge about geography. And you already know them. On one side, we have Emma. Emma, are you feeling confident about the trivia today?
I don't know. I feel like I know a good amount of geography, but I guess time will tell.
On the other side, we have Hannah. How are you doing, Hannah? Are you excited for your first time playing the trivia?
I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous because Emma's the reigning champ, but I'm going to do my best.
Good luck to both of you. So let's start. And the first question goes to Emma. Emma, which of these cities it's not a capital in a state in the United States? A, Topeka, B, Nashville, C, Austin, or D, Orlando?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with, I'll say Orlando.
And the correct answer is letter D. Orlando is not a capital of a state in the U.S. Question number 2 goes to Hannah. Which state has a nickname, the Land of 1,000 Lakes? A, Kansas, B, Minnesota, C, Ohio, or D, Utah?
I think it's Minnesota.
Minnesota's nickname is the Land of 1,000 Lakes, so letter B is the correct answer. Now, Emma, as a Brazilian myself, I hope you know the answer for the next question. Which city does not belong to Brazil? A, Rio de Janeiro, B, Buenos Aires, C, São Paulo, or D, Natal?
I'm gonna go with the last one because I've definitely heard the other 3 being Brazilian cities.
Actually, Buenos Aires is the capital of Argentina, so letter B would be the correct answer.
Okay.
The last question before the true or false goes to Hannah. Which of this city is not located in Spain? A, Madrid, B, Barcelona, C, Barranquilla, or D, Avila?
I'm going to go with C, Barranquilla.
Perfect. The Colombian singer Shakira was born in Barranquilla, so that makes letter C the right answer. So far we have 2 points to Hannah and 1 point to Emma. Let's move on to the true or false. Emma, starting with you. 4 American states have a border with Mexico. Is this true or false?
Okay. I'm trying to think about this. I want to say true.
This sentence is actually true. There are 4 states in the United States that make border with Mexico: California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. Finally, the last sentence goes to Hannah. Is this true or false? The longest river in the U.S. is the Mississippi River.
I think that one's true.
The sentence is actually false. The longest river in the U.S. is the Missouri River, not the Mississippi River. So we are tied here. Emma and Hannah both got 2 points. So that's the result for today's trivia. Thank you all for watching today. We will be back next week with more news, weather, and trivia. Have a great day.